Hello, Bethel family. Wanted to give you a quick update as we're still in our season of quarantining, and we'll probably be here for some time still to come. Want to thank you for your continuing to give financially. Some of you are mailing it in, some of you are doing it online, and I appreciate your continued support in helping us not lose steam financially. Greatly appreciated. And I wanted to give you some thoughts though regarding walking through this virus. I think some people's fears are calming, but we're getting restless. We're wanting to know what to do with our time, and we're also spending a lot of time on the internet and watching the news and picking up stories and information. And we want to make sure that we know how to evaluate information well. And in our Wednesday night Bible studies, and I encourage you to participate, just text me or contact me if you'd like to participate in our Wednesday night Bible studies through Zoom. You need an invitation to do that. Just let me know. But in that study, we've been looking at the book of Galatians, and in Galatians chapter 2, Paul says, "And from those who seem to be influential, what they were makes no difference to me. God shows no partiality. Those, I say, who seemed influential added nothing to me. On the contrary, when they saw that I had been entrusted with the gospel to the uncircumcised, just as Peter had been entrusted with the gospel to the circumcised, for he who works through Peter for his apostolic ministry to the circumcised worked also through me for mine to the Gentiles. And when James and Cephas and John, who seemed to be pillars, perceived the grace that was given to me, they gave the right hand of fellowship to Barnabas and me, that we should go to the Gentiles and they to the circumcised." So he mentions that there are these people who seem to be influential, and people are listening to them not because of what they're saying, but because of who they are. And Paul is saying, listen, God doesn't respect people. Truth is true no matter who says it, whether it's someone who is trustworthy or someone who's not. Truth is truth no matter who says it. And he also understands that people are moved by what they're hearing. Often people are interpreting it by the person, if they like the person, if the person is influential, if they have a lot of followers, if they sound confident, if I like what I'm hearing, then they will be drawn to listen to those people. And Paul, in that latter portion of that passage, understood that, so he made sure the reference that Peter, James, and John, they support Paul. They supported him, and they affirmed him, and that's why you should listen to me, he was saying to the Galatians. And so he knows the dynamic that we tend to listen to people not because they're right, but because we like them, because we like the way they sound, because there's something about they sound intelligent, they sound cool, they sound put together, it's intriguing. And the Bible warns about us not just following the desire to have our ears tickled. And so I want to encourage you, when you hear information about government conspiracies and other kind of conspiracies, theories that are out there, I want you to consider the source and ask yourself the question, who's they? Because a lot of times people will say, they say, well, who's they? And how do I know that they is trustworthy? And how do I know that their information that they're sharing with me is correct? And I saw basically a joke floating around there in social media that everybody knows a medical professional or someone who works in the government who's telling them what is really going on in closed quarters. And not that those things can't happen, but the thing is we don't have all the information, and we don't know everything, and God's just calling us to do the right thing with the information that we have. So I encourage you to be careful just believing everything you hear. Even if it's from politicians, believing everything you hear. Learn to be discerning of the Spirit. Learn to be self-aware, knowing, why am I being moved to like this, accept this? Is it because of the person? Is it because of the way it makes me feel? Is it because of the way it appeals to me? Or is it because it is true and it has evidence that the idea, the concept, the information is true? So I plead with you, make sure not to be deceived during this season, because I really feel like the enemy is going to try to do all kinds of things to make us do weird, wonky things with this and damage our spirituality. And I'm trusting that you're not going to fall prey to those things. So just be cautious who and what you listen to, and just trust the Spirit. Be in the Word of God as often as possible. Use your time to be in the Word of God and in prayer more than being on the internet, and get discernment and follow the Spirit and follow biblical principles. Love you. We'll see you on Sunday or tonight in Bible study.